Let's begin. I picked Pascal and Abelard. The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of their guns. Thousands of throats chant your name, you're the apex of this world and all others. Amplified by 100 voices, the voice of the Master of Ceremonies booms. Rejoice, subjects of Dargonus, you've been granted the felicity of witnessing your master, a great honor bestowed upon us by Rogue Trader. Gracious savior of Dargonus and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, may their unholy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Cleanser of Janus, who with one hand brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos and with the other exterminating the despicable worshippers of the archenemy. Gracious protector of footfall, patron of trade. A hush falls over the crowd who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battle of Dargonus. Like children, they await the word of their almighty father. Imperiales, praise the Emperor, faithful souls, the darkness around us may be fierce, but the blaze in our hearts is fiercer still, evil will burn. Fear not the coming day, henceforth hear all my charges. Remember that you have no other ruler but me, hereticus, for any who dare to forget this, the howls of demons from the warp will sound like the babbling of babes, and Xenos blades will seem like a soft featherbed compared to the horror of the punishment I'll inflict. Serve faithfully and I will lead you to prosperity. The Coronis response will enrich us all. Turn to the Master of Ceremonies and speak right into the box. Am I expected to say something to them? I won't talk to the rebel. Take it away. We go with Imperialis this time. Praise the Emperor, faithful souls. Crowd erupts in frenzied cries. Hundreds of people pull out knives and with ardent, jubilant howls carve crude, bleeding Achilles on their faces, sharing in the martyrdom of the protector of humankind, the God Emperor. Pascal sketches a blessing in the air, and many of your subjects, wearing beatific smiles, copy it, technomats in grease-stained robes, bureaucrats scratching at scrolls without the quill fingers, and aristocrats flaunting their costly augmentations. On a world as civilized as Dargonus, there are many who honor the Omnissiah and his priests. Adequate, Dargonus has not disappointed. Abelard forces the smile of satisfaction from his face and whispers to you, you remember the next part? Your lordship will be asked to take the oath. The Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence. Let the oath of the Von Valancius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me. Your lordship, I, Rogue Trader, by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over the nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness. You hear a rumble. It's the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. We are an official Rogue Trader now, finally. A gde ti je ovo? Gde je ovo?
Samo čekaj, samo.
A da...
Klikni pokret.
Jo, živote... Where were we? Aristocrats. Abelard. Xavier Calcazar. Governor Urban Drivestem stands surrounded by highborn guests like a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed... Listen to that! Like... Cause we're playing Diablo 4 at the same time, and you know what I think about Diablo 4's writing and the amount of cringe in that game, and it's a multi-million billions word company that have no writer. And now one sentence from the rogue trader stands surrounded by highborn guests like a planet orbited by many moons. Okay, one sentence of rogue trader has more power than the entire storyline of a AAA game that's Diablo 4. The amount of cringe in that game ain't real. And I've been also doing one video today about Diablo 4. You'll see it when it comes out. I hope I can release it tomorrow. It's gonna be very interesting. And it's probably the final thing I'll do for Diablo 4. All of his charm is directed at a man in a resplendent power armor adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition. As soon as you approach, Drivestem is the first to give you an elegant bow, getting ahead of the rest in the expression of loyalty. This is a great day, your lordship. Smile graciously. You're befuddled by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Look at the guests. Among the aristocrats surrounding the opulently dressed Drivestem, you notice a couple of young nobles in Sourbeck and Gaprak colors. It would seem that the major noble families of Dargonus have decided to introduce their younger members to high society. The tall man in grey power armor adorned with a column with a skull is undoubtedly a high-ranking inquisitor. He keeps the periphery of the conversation, seldom dining to the comment. Next to him is his entourage, a rangy warrior in black armor and a tech priest dressed in red, whose face is hidden behind a brass mask. Abelard stands somewhat apart from the others, as if reluctant to approach Drivestem. Next to him is a young woman, and you notice a family resemblance between them. Take a guess at who is allied with whom in this tangle of snakes? Tangle of snakes. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of Dargonus aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he's showing to young Suarbeck, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The senior Suarbeck and Gaprak are whispering in another corner. Suarbeck, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Gaprak to his side, which could be quite advantageous to Lady Gaprak after all. The disaster on Kiava Gama has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Verserias stand apart, their exclusion from the rest palpable. Jamin, good evening, Jamin. For me, it's a heavy evening, 9 PM. I could do it, yeah, I could do it. I already did some. We did the Xbox show and we did PC gaming show. I missed the one today. I think it was Ubisoft today. Better that I missed, I guess. Do I do what? Be an OnlyFan? Why would I have that? But get goat. Let it be. Let it be. Not to the Inquisitor, my greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. Xavier Calcazar responds with a dignified bow, his proud face calm and unflattering. And my greetings to you, esteemed Valencius, my shadows never darken the light of Astronomicon that guides you. Inquisitor's companion, a crimson-robed member of Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind the brass mask, mounted with dozens of augmetics, comes a metallic rasp. Glory to the one Valencius heir. Study the Inquisitor and his companion. The Lord Inquisitor's relaxed expression radiates an odd sense of menace. He is akin to a predator on the prowl, content to hide in a brush of fake smiles and elegant conversation, until now. I'm telling you, one small side conversation in Rogue Trader is 10 times bigger than the entire storyline of Diablo 4. It's fucking hilarious. Tech use check failed. Tech priest augmentations seem unfamiliar and bizarre. Implants such as these are only available to members of the blessed hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and one would not come upon such sacred relics even at the highest echelons of the nobility. And who's the member of the Honorable Brotherhood of the Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which naturally is not his real name. The esteemed Magus is a member of my retinue. There are times when I'm forced by my duty to the Emperor to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments. Works that have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant caution. He has some injury. We have not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar. I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Board of Xenos, the head of the Coronos Expanse Conclave, and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my unending task to ensure this sector readiness to meet external threats and resist internal corruption. Unexpected visit, I wasn't told. I, however, have been told all about you. The Inquisitor's face is impenetrable, but behind this mask you detect a hint of mockery. Enjoy the party. This evening will certainly be illuminating. What were you discussing now? We were talking about the brutal Xenos raid on our fair Dargonis. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Thank the Emperor that you are our protector. If it weren't for you, the cursed invaders would have obliterated the whole planet. My food arrived 1 second. Just to take it. Oh. Dobro, odnesek. Jest pogląd. Isti krštenac. Ja da ti kažem. Sigurno da je to tvoj. Kako jok. Gyros arrived. It's the first time I eat today. Ugh. Yes, Hollywood writers and all of those demon worshippers, they moved to AAA gaming because no one watches TV shows and movies anymore. They're losing audience and now they're transferring to gaming. And you can tell all AAA games are not games anymore, they're completely corrupted. Completely corrupted. Demonized, everything is fucking demonized. The only thing what's safe right now would be indies and nothing else. AAAs are dead. They're a brainwashing, inducing agenda. And it's not even worth talking about. Big gyros, man. Huge gyros. Sharing the sector with the blasted Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to the raid on Dragonus with a punitive campaign. This is the daughter of Clementia Verserian, the Abelard's great-granddaughter Astartia. Astartia. I took Verserians by my side instead of other noble families. That's what happened in short. And what are they? They're not demon worshippers, man. Satan's puppets. That's what a Hollywood is. It always was. Now it's just way too obvious, okay? They always were. Brainwashing machine. All of them. Writers, actors, directors. Every single one of them. There are examples, okay, of normal people in Hollywood. Very few, but there are examples. Brando, he's long dead. Mel Gibson, he's forbidden to act. He cannot act in Hollywood movies anymore. And I don't know who else. The rest of them, demons. How do you think comes money and success? How much is gyros? It depends. This one is like bigger size gyros. I think one is $3 or $4. It depends whether you get it on discount or not. There's the biggest size gyros also. and it's around $5 to $6. It also depends where you buy. I got a PlayStation 5. No, I wanted to buy, and then I changed my mind. When I wanted to buy PlayStation 5, none was available. Here, shawarma. I think it's cheaper than gyros. You can get shawarma for like $2 or $3 in my country, but not many eat shawarma. We eat Greek and Italian food more than shawarmas and similar stuff. And our food, of course. Yesterday, we ordered food from a new restaurant. The owner is a professional cook. The bottom line is, he's got his own farm, and his cows are natural, okay? And he produces his own handmade mozzarella from cows that are free on a farm, okay? They walk free, they sleep on the grass, they eat well, and they eat organic quality food. And that restaurant opened up like a month ago or so, and he makes all of his own, okay? Homemade tomatoes, homemade mozzarella, and so on, and he's a professional cook. And I ordered food yesterday from that restaurant. Holy shit, man, is it good or what? I ate like it, I don't know, thousands of different places, but the thing I ate yesterday, it ain't fucking normal. It ain't normal how good it is. I'm gonna record it to show you sometime. I'll release it on my YouTube channels just so you can see what I talk about. That shit ain't normal, man. Organic mushrooms, organic meat, organic mozzarella, organic tomatoes. I don't know what's better. That was yesterday. And a meal, for one, it's a bit more expensive, okay? It's from $10 to $20. But everything is fucking great compared to this that I eat right now. You can't compare, to be honest. Fanta came with food. I never buy any soda. It came with food. Last time I drank soda was a year ago. I don't drink soda. Maybe once in 3 months I have a glass of soda. What do you mean 60 kilometers cycle? On a bike, 60 kilometers? You fucking real? Pizzas, we got all type of pizzas to order. From those fat American pizzas to real Italian pizzas. And there is nothing better than Italian pizza. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I'm kinda sick of that. Because I ate it non-stop. Next time I'll order smaller gyros. This one's fucking huge. I can't open my mouth how huge it fucking is. Last time I used the bike was in 90s. Literally in 90s. I think it was before the war. That's the last time I used bike. Believe it or not. I nearly choked.
Что бей?
Загрыздусь. It's from Chile, inside the gyros. Kepas. Yeah, it's chili inside the gyros. For sure. I can feel it in my throat now. If I start with training, I don't pay attention on what I eat anymore. I'll start paying attention around September, October. Right now I don't care during summer. No matter what I eat, I remain on the same weight. Lifting weights, I can eat whatever the fuck I like. Easily. It's not as if I was in my 20s again, but it's fine. Just to take this out and we play. Yeah, I need to play System Shock as well. Ooh. On a bench. My tops on a bench was 150. 160 backside. Right now, I've been training for a month. After 6 years or so, I'm on 100. 110, 120. It depends how I feel. Kilograms, kilograms. I don't even know what the measure is in other. Always kilograms. When I say measures, it's always meters and kilograms and liters. I'm nearly 100 kilograms, okay, in weight. So it's not way too much on my weight. It's not the same as when I was in 20s, of course. In my 20s, I could lift a lot. Man, come on, I can't make myself go to the gym every day. Imagine me working out in the middle of something when I'm doing something. That time's long gone. I'm close to my 40s. I'm doing those workouts right now. Basically, 90% why I started going to the gym again is my back. Okay, because my back got destroyed from the chair. You know. And it was the only way to resolve my back problems. That's the main reason right now. Deadlifts. I'll probably avoid deadlifts. You can do deadlifts from your 20s to 30s. You're not supposed to do deadlifts after 30s. No matter what anyone else says, if you break your spine with deadlifts after 30s, you're done. Okay, then I'll probably avoid deadlifts. I'll never ever do deadlifts in my life again. How do you bench properly? That depends from person to person, okay? Because everyone is different. It also depends out of your size, okay? Some like to spread their arms completely, some like to hold their arms like this, okay? When doing bench, it also depends on the size, but how I did most of my exercises, how to tell you that your body is remembering stuff. Okay. And when you do Monday's bench press and you know that you're gonna do bench press, you're gonna do some pullovers, okay? Just for this airplane to pass, I can't hear my thoughts. And then you're gonna finish up with, I don't know, something you're used to. 3-4 sets, you raise weights slightly. And here comes the Monday again, you do the same. And then you do the same. And then you do the same. And now body adapted and there is no gains, there is no shock. When there is no shock on a muscle, you don't grow. So basically all of those trainers and the garbage they're talking and so on, those are people that are using roids. Okay, and they got water. That's not muscle, that's water. Okay, water. You hit them, they're gonna burst like a fucking balloon. You should never listen to those fuckers that use roids. So how I do it and what I do. If Monday for me is example bench press and I go like warm up 60 to 80 kilograms, then second series 100 kilograms, reps go like 10, 8, 6, 4. Okay, then 110 kilograms, then 120 kilograms, 10, 8, 6, 4 in reps. And that's Monday. Okay, then I transfer to pullover, again 10 reps. 10, 8, 6, 4. 4 times for pullover. And then the third exercise, exactly 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. Okay, those would be like what? 12 for chest. And then comes Monday again for the chest. If I do it again the same, it won't count. So what I do, I completely change exercises. You shock the muscle. Body thinks, oh, we're gonna start with the bench press. No, we're not. You're gonna take a weight. You're gonna put your hand here. You're gonna put your hand there. Okay? And you're gonna push like this. Have you ever tried doing that for your chest? This, okay? You're holding the weight like this with your arms and you're pushing from the middle of your chest upwards. Do this with like 10 kilograms 10 times. Only this, up and up while you're standing. Okay, and that's how you open up. And then you switch and you switch and you switch every time for every part of body. When body thinks that it knows you, you show it otherwise. It doesn't know you. You're gonna do something entirely else. Okay, and then it's a shock. Then next month, the body expects you to change. Okay, and what do you do then? For example, you try super series. You don't start from the minimum weight again in the next month. You start from the maximum weight and you're lowering weight. And that's the entire training. Same exercises, but different weights. And you keep switching non-stop. That's how I done it for 20 years. And it worked. For me, it worked. And when you say, how do you bench press properly? There is no proper way. Because everyone is different. Absolutely everyone is different. Maybe bench press doesn't hit you at all. Maybe something else hits you. Maybe pullover hits you. Maybe the exercise I showed you hits you. Have you ever tried? Combine, push forward, bring it back. And you press on a weight. And you do it like this. Try it. Maybe that does it better for you than a bench press. You never know. Size also matters. Okay, size really, really matters. And that's something that comes with genetics. I'm 186, so nearly 100 and around close to 190 with my sneakers. And I got big bones, okay, with a lot of muscle. And then it's probably a bit easier for me than it would be for someone that's, I don't know, 170 with 70 kilograms. Okay, body responds differently, so it's a bit hard to compare. I never counted calories. I never counted what I ate. I never paid attention. Okay. When and if I want to pay attention on food, I eat one type of food per meal. So if I eat eggs, I eat only eggs and nothing with eggs. If I eat potatoes, I only eat potatoes and nothing with potatoes. That's when I go, you can call it on a diet. One type of food. So your body can actually process everything that you digested. When you mix foods, okay, like I ate gyros now, it's spices, it's tzatziki, it's potatoes, it's bread, it's chicken, and God knows what else inside of it. Your body is confused. That goes into your stomach, and now your body needs to digest 15 types of different food, and we know that enzymes do that, and they're confused. And what they do then, they transport that food, and you gain weight, or better to say, you gain fat. When you eat one food only, you can't get fat. That's about it. Very simple, but it's very hard to do. And when I was in, never counted, but when I was in I can say my prime, okay, like 10, more than 10 years ago, I was eating like 10k calories a day, for sure. For sure, I was eating like in 24 hours, let's say. I was eating 10 eggs, the entire big bread, at least half kilogram of cheese. I'm counting during the entire day. 3 kilograms of meat. An entire family pizza. You know, half meter pizza. 4 gyros at once. That's how much I was eating back then. And I was never fat. Again, that depends on the person. Where's the rest of your kid, Abelard? In the city, preoccupied with running the festivities and watching over some more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony. I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me to some important task too, but he bid me to be attend to the reception, where I can do nothing to serve your lordship. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. How are you finding the reception? Never before have I seen such a grand and striking ceremony. I was so much more amazed by your generosity. The provisions that are being handed out in the streets of the capital will make the difference between life and death for many of those who lost everything in Xeno's attack. Young Gaprak keeps staring at Astarsha curiously and a little bashfully. It seems the boy likes her. So you wish to become my servant as well? Of course, been working on the project for the last 4 years. Enough, Astarsha. I highly doubt his lordship is interested in listening to the fantasies of a young woman about how to run his protectorate. Abelard shoots drives them a glare, so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. Hold your tongue, Urband. I decide who may speak and who may not. Continue, Astarsha. Set up a chain of stations in the void. Plasma beacons that would signal the passing ships. By placing them in logistically sound locations, we could simplify our ships' routes so that they may split long warp jumps into a series of safer, shorter jumps from one beacon to another. This would have a positive effect on the overall safety of journeys. More and more technical terms and percentages creep into her speech. She quotes Lex mechanic reports and accounts of starship captains. Astarsha's vigor and sharp mind are enough to silence even the most venomous of commentators. They all stand there in silence, trying to digest what she's saying. Abelard surveys the quiet nobles with triumph and then looks at his great-granddaughter with pride. I hope the Versarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Absolutely. We greatly respect him for his wisdom. He repays us with attention and kindness. Talk to young Sourback. I see you hate Xenos with all of your heart. I do. This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated. Or forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. And how many Xenos have you killed personally, Sourback? The Honorable Macarius forbade, but I wanted, did not let me go to Bell. It must have been difficult for this youth to foster such bloodlust towards enemies of the Imperium without ever having seen one at a blade's distance. Allow me to be the first to offer the congratulations. Drives them steps forward. A curved Drukhari blade. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but you, your lordship. Raven, you wanna get healthy, eat one type of food. If you can. That's as far as food goes, okay? And you need to exercise, but eating one type of food for a meal, 3 to 5 meals a day, will get you healthy. Extremely healthy. That's the entire theory of food. Again, your body is confused when you eat 5-6 different types of food per meal. It doesn't know how to digest everything, and then it puts on fat. It stores everything. It doesn't know what to do with all of that food. That's how you get fat. Just close the windows. 1 second.
je žuća lud 100%. Čekaj.
You put on 2 kilograms watching me eat gyros, Kyowa. It's not that bad, man. We got armament for a ship for Gaprax. Blessed work of the Omniscience Smiths. Locator Matrix. It always shows you the right path. Elsverserian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance. We are rich, intelligent, and hard-working people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents so that the worlds in your charge may prosper. Venerable layman Russ is known as the Scipian Punisher, and it served the Von Valancius dynasty for 2 centuries. He was hit in a battle with the Xenos and inhabited Scipia too, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vehicles and brought victory to its comrades, securing its status as a relic blessed by the Emperor. The refined features of these statues demonstrate the beauty and perfection of humanity's genetic purity. Inscribed upon the snow-white parchment are prayers for the brave soldier of House von Valancius who carried the rogue trader's will and that of the Emperor across the Coronus Expanse. They're shooting Xenos. Mutants, condemned, Kabbalah. Cracking Xenos trope is a testament to how the Omniscience gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. Magnificent paintings were created in a style that fully complies with the artistic canon approved by the Ecclesiarchy. Altar to the God Emperor, treated in the fumes of precious incense. The carry captive angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. Wild xenobeasts are growing ferociously, adding a flare of thrilling danger to the mood in the palace. fragment of Eldari Pure, a trophy to the rogue trader and never before seen oddity to most imperial citizens. Let's get in, and let's begin with chapter 3. Lords belong to the presumption governor of Vibos VI, who staged a revolt hundreds of years ago. Insurrectionist hands, preserved against decay, still rest on the sword's hilts. Sinister Xeno's instruments of death are now trophies demonstrating the invincibility of House von Valencians. Collection of proudly displayed weapons that belong to distinguished rogue traders of House von Valencians. I hope it won't end in a shootout. Caprax Sourbacks. A group of aristocrats stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. The clear leader of this gathering is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sourback colors. This must be Macarius himself, head of the house. He offers you a ceremonious bow. My congratulations, your lordship. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with ear-shaped adornments, is Toriana Gaprak. Difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. Observe. Toriana Gaprak looks rather anxious. Macarius Sourback, dressed surprisingly plainly and austerely for an aristocrat of such a high rank, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception with a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty, wearing a gilded augment, necklace around her throat. His wife, probably. Heinrichs, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly kept silent, listening intently to their every word. Lean toward Heinrich's interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, given me plenty of food for thought. His voice is barely audible. For an inscrutable man, Heinrichs is being even more inscrutable than usual. It's as if he's hiding something important. I told you I had a flood in a bathroom, okay? So now the neighbor that's living upstairs answered. Now! After the entire day, because she wasn't home. I need to take this call. Hello. What a fucking day I'm having, man. Where were we? Is there anything you would like to tell me, Heinrichs? Nothing urgent. Tell me about my guests. Macarius Sourbeck is old, but throwing darts at your portrait. He's more astute at choosing women than enemies. He's trying to entice Gaprak to his side, but she's still frightened after the fiasco on Kiamagama. Even in leisure you never cease to be of help, I appreciate. That is why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep I hear everything. Before this gala concludes, there is something I'd like to tell you. Be careful today. I sense that wave of darkness will soon hit our defensive lines, and I hope that I will still get a chance to meet you there as an ally. Hi, these days, Turiana. The corruption of Kiavagama was a great blow to my family. Contemptible cubist Delphin betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I'm ready to accept any punishment. Look closely at Turiana. There's something lurking beneath Turiana's repentant expression, a grudge. It would seem that she was personally offended by the nightmare into which cubist Delphin plunged her domain, and she feels betrayed. You notice Turiana's mechanical visors periodically looking past you, in the direction of Pascal. It seems the tech priest is an object of fascination for her. I see you're interested in my companion Pascal. I'll grant you the privilege of conversing with him. Thank you, your lordship. I noticed that you choose to have him by your side during the ceremony, and I would be honored to meet such a highly placed member of the Adeptus Mechanicus. For although House Gaprak does indeed follow the Omnissiah, we're but lay people, and we're not permitted to converse with such enlightened servants of the Machine God. Your gracious assent fills my heart with joy. I give you my word that Kiavagama will be rebuilt in all its splendor. No reward in beta version. Okay. Sworn of the Omnissiah's all-encompassing insight will make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Gaprak's usefulness. Yet here you are, Turiana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Macarius, I'm surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. I'm a servant of the von Valancius dynasty. And an outcome of the committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. His wife offers you a charming smile, as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. I would like to become better acquainted with your wife. Macarius is visibly vexed by the shift in the conversation. His wife offers you a reserved smile. It's an honor to be in your company, your lordship. My pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife, perhaps more so than you're to have him. Your countenance is familiar somehow. Could it be a resemblance to the image of Saint Maletta? Point your weapon at Macarius and chuckle. You know Macarius, a person could kill for a woman so gorgeous. Oh. Let's try. Succeeded. As Macarius pales, Regina smiles at him, then glances at you with interest. I beg you, mercy. Macarius does not deserve that. Regina gives you a charming smile. Meanwhile, Turiana and Macarius are watching the conversation unfold, not quite believing their eyes and ears. It's my pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife, perhaps more so than you are to have him. You flatter me, your lordship, but I cannot say that is not to my liking. I hope this won't be the end of our acquaintance. You wouldn't mind if I wrote you from time to time, would you, your lordship? Macarius, you won't mind, will you? Macarius. Macarius, you should talk to your spouse about what is decent in high society and what is not. Yeah, Macarius, you won't mind, will you? You can almost hear the crunch of crumbling teeth as high and hateful rips through them. Definitely. I promise to answer in my free time from conquest and destruction of the enemies of humanity. I dare encounter such a generous courtesy, your grace. High honor for Hal Zauerbeck. He grips the hilt of his parade blade as if trying to strangle it, and wheezes furiously. What had so displeased you, Macarius? I'm your dynasty's loyal servant, but you ask and I will answer. Too long has the Coronos Expanse live under the rule of the rogue traders. The privileges granted to them make people think that commoners too can dismiss the prohibitions of the Imperium. For the good of the sector, rogue trader must become paragons of the law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your lordship, are the subject of the strangest of rumors. And you have just recently inherited your protectorate. Kunrad Wojtyvir's people, for instance, claim that you had a hand in the esteemed Theodora's demise and accuse you of many other misdeeds. It doesn't matter whether or not their claims are true, the people hear them, believe them, and think that they may follow your example. Your poor head tormented with so many concerns. Would you like to have it removed from your shoulders? Ah, shit. Your will is absolute. When my head ceases to be of use, I will humbly place it upon the executioner's block. Macarius' voice drips with insincere obedience. I see. Macarius bows his head without too much reverence. Yo, Macarius. Funny guy, man. And here we got rogue traders, Winterscale and Jorda. The only two rogue traders in the Coronos Expanse. Caligos Winterscale. Welcome to the circle where each member is powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last, that is to say, the noble rogue traders. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Caligos, at the very least. Now you can enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower classes. Observe them. Caligos Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile, no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and a desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armor. His low forehead and gloomy face bear signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless, like a pair of glass bottles. Incendia Shorda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in a full dress uniform adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on footfall, gives you a respectful nod. Welcome you to my domain, honored guests. What hospitality. Come to think of it, why would I expect anything different from the heir of the glorious Theodora? If you, Incendia, were to pay me a visit, I wouldn't waste time on warm greetings either. I would promptly arm myself with a flamer before your self-righteous parasites could infest my entire palace. So what do you think of the celebration? I like it. One can instantly tell that we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administrative bootlicker. We're conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of the unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires. Caligos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a true rogue trader looks like, not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Thank you for your visit, Caligos. As a sign of your gratitude, you could return something of mine that has found its way into your pockets. Footfall Station sounds familiar. All I asked you to do was to help that crafty slug Vladheim deal with the threat of famine, not claim my property for yourself. You abandoned Footfall to its fate, and I saved its people from starving to death. Smile innocently. Winterscale, are you asking me to give you Footfall back? Will you beg for it? Smile brazenly. You want Footfall back? Then try and take it. A fair point. I'm ready to return Footfall into your custodianship. Smile innocently. Winterscale, are you asking me to give you Footfall back? Will you beg for it? You go too far in your blood. Caligos' face turns into a grimace of hatred, but then he catches Incendia looking at him and breaks into a sly smile. I had to make your protectorate bleed as compensation, but you have spitted both myself and Incendia. And it's high time our dear sister curbed her appetites. For this I forgive you, but do not test my mercy again. It is not my strong suit. Thwarting Incendia short ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. He snaps his finger and armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human make. It's a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime so you can show yourself in action, new blood. Eldari scout rifle. And how fares your protectorate? More like the bleeding scraps of one. The warp storm tore it to shreds, but my servants will piece it back together. And if they don't, I'll chop off their heads and find myself more capable helpers. Something strikes you as strange. Caligos Winterscale wasn't always this nonchalant about his protectorate. He used to be known as shrewd and business-minded, even concerned for his subjects. It seems he has grown bored of ruling. Does your gift come with a good story? Oh yes, I claimed it in the rifts of Hecaton, where we had a clash with Xenos. They were really trying to get my throat, and by the hidden stars they almost succeeded. He's speaking with such joy, it is as though he's recounting the best day of his life. Only 1 in 10 made it out of Hecaton, and now it's only me and Wharton here. We returned without any loot and virtually without a ship. All I got from that trip was a hold full of dead Xenos and this deadly beauty, which their leader used to put 2 holes in my hide. An impressive victory, but do you truly believe a creation of the ungodly Xenos to be good gift, Caligos? You would call into question the privileges bestowed upon me by the Emperor. You can try. Let the Saint Drusus mission put forth their champion, and I will slay him in a trial by combat. Threaten this team Hieronymus one more time, Caligos, and the war that you love to prattle on about will commence. I swear it, 1 drop of holy blood split by you will send the remains of your realm up in flames better than any tanker of Prometheum. Incendia and Caligos exchange looks of fury. The latter, snarling like a wolf, is clearly ready to start said war here and now. Hieronymus' dry voice hits your ears like the crack of a whip. While your pride, both of you, I do not wish to fight you, Caligos, but I fear not your threats. That does not frighten me, for it's inevitable. It is as true as the senselessness and pointlessness of a war between us. Who's the remarkable warrior in your retinue? It's Wharton the Grey, my arch-militant, a fierce warrior, and as loyal to me as an obedient beast to its master. I bought him in a miserable colony back when he was a runt on his last legs, and he is practically a part of my dynasty. Wharton the Grey, whose skin really is dotted with grey spots, looks at Caligos with purest devotion. Indeed, he is akin to an animal, one that is bloodthirsty and mindless. He remarks, taking another your jab. I heard that you are decent in a fight. What do you think? Would you gut Wharton if it came down to it? Or would he be the one gutting you? Size up your opponent. The grey spots on Wharton's face are what catch your attention. Marks like these can be seen on fighters who are too fond of combat stimulants. A small price to pay for the increased speed and reaction that could save your life in a fight. although those spots are usually tiny pockmarks, not whole islands of grey on the skin. Examine his gear. Ignoring the fearsome-looking broadsword and pistol, which hang from his belt rather ostentatiously, you notice a great number of thin blades with curved edges skillfully concealed within Vorten's armor. These toys are deadly in the hands of a quick fighter. It appears that Winterscale Arch-Militant likes to surprise his opponent with unexpected speed. He's a quick fighter despite not looking like one. I know this, which means that he wouldn't fool me. Instead, he would be lying dead. A new glint appears in the bloodshot eyes, a glint of appraisal, intelligent and cunning. No, Wharton is not the thick, bloodthirsty beast he wants to be seen as. Behind this mask is a careful and keen mind. Now you can accept the gift or you can destroy it. Reverend, destroy this creation of detestable Xenos. Your virtuous task will be completed. Priest bows as he accepts the foul item without flinching. Winterscale expression hardens. So that's how you treat my gifts. Wharton, as soon as we leave the palace, collect my property. If the holy man tries so much as to scratch the stock, kill him. A tense silence falls, while Caligos and Incendia exchange goading smiles, the eyes of Arch-Militant and Priest bore into each other, their expressions filled with intangible meaning. The former bestial aggression cannot even leave a scratch on the latter's impassive fearlessness. A premonition of imminent bloodshed hangs in the air. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect any different? I watched for years that outlaws thrived on footfall, and then at long last I had a chance to put an end to it. You seized that thug Vladime by the throat to force footfall to atone, and put the fear of him back in the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She too was less concerned with her duty to the expanse than her own personal interests. You can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the furibundo system of the pirate's scourge. And if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will have only yourself to blame. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when the purity can never be found? I bested you, simple as that. This is a trade. So you're only interested in profit. For someone who is vested with such untold privilege, I expect you to have more refined ambitions and a more solid understanding of your mission given to you by the God Emperor. I take it you were not overly fond of Theodora. She was of the same breed as... She stops, then continues in a lowered voice. One-sighted, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. I do not doubt her wisdom and courage. Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. Asp, that must be Espis Shorda. You remember the name. From what you recall, she was a rogue trader too, and a renowned one at that. I, for one, liked Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to name the stars, and yes, there was no fear in her. Who is Aspis Shorda to you? This is Incendia's favorite subject. She just loves talking about Aspis. The example of the contemptible Aspis is warning to us all. Even among rogue traders empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can blossom. Perception check failed. The reprobate is my forebear and my curse. Aspis Shorda was a cruel, covetous, blaspheming master. She fraternized with Xenos, she despised the fate she robbed and slaughtered. She was drawn to dark secrets. One day she boarded her ship and vanished into the depths of Coronus Expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the bloody day will come when we see Aspis Shorda battle flagship once more. I hope the taste of wine will wash the bitterness of defeat from your tongue, Incendia. A I'm not inclined to intoxicants of any sort, and nothing will wash away the memory of how you intervened in my plans. I promise you that. Enjoy the evening. I intend to enjoy myself to the full to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith the Emperor protects. So Winter Scale is chaotic, and Chorda seems like straight Imperialis. Let's begin chapter 3. I think it starts from here. Right from here. I want to retire to my chambers. Allow me to escort. Chapter 3 starts from here. For sure. Xavier Calcazar, the same man you saw among your guests, is waiting for you in your chambers, with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assessing gaze over you from top to bottom. No one save Theodora has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. We have matters to discuss. I'm glad to be of service. Commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account. The Inquisitor's sharp gaze is fixed on a point directly between your eyes. Master von Kallax has spent enough time with you. He will watch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of rebellion on Janus, the battle against the arch-enemy minions on Kiava Gamma, and of course, the unusual interest that Drukhari has shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss. After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brows, like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. What do you want to know about Janus? I know it all already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valencius. It is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's convenience allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power. Vistenza's misdeeds are a stain upon my dynasty's honor. I admit it. Theodora was the one who appointed Vistenza. What does it have to do with me? But now Janus is pure once more. You can see for yourself, there will be a palace and everything you desire waiting for you on the planet. Every tool has a shelf life. Vistenza had reached the end of hers, and so I replaced her. Theodora appointed Vistenza. What does it have to do with me? As my colleagues like to say, innocence proves nothing. You have inherited not just Theodora's glory and wealth, but her mistakes as well. Her misdeeds are stained upon my dynasty's honor, I admit it. Your humility is heartening. Rest assured it will be noted during the investigation of your lamentable oversight. How did you come to be so remarkably well informed? You surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware of the circumstances of your deeds? How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind. If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself? I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this: we had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis Expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take. What you want to know about Kiava Gamma? Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiavagama should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation, and you didn't even go to trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubis Delphim so much freedom and he sank in insidious heresy. What was your rationale? My protectorate is a complex mechanism. I wasn't willing to put its performance at risk because of some paranoid fears. I must confess this is the first time I hear it about this. My servants usually handle such matters. But the Brotherhood, to which Cubis Delphim belonged, answered for his crimes. The Adeptus Mechanicus would do well to watch their members more closely. I wish to observe how the seeds of corruption will behave. It is prudent to study one enemy. I wish to observe how the seeds of corruption will behave. It's prudent to study one enemy. I eagerly await the moment when you show me your rosette of the Holy Inquisition. Surely you have it on you, you don't? How strange. I thought that such experiments were within the purview of my esteemed colleagues from the Order of the Hereticus. I hope you realize that we're talking about more than fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiavagama and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence. What with Drukhari? The enmity between you is a known fact. There is another way to look at it. On Wibos 6 you met the Archon of Mighty Cabal, whose presence there seemed strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet again you survived. Your capital fell victim to nefarious attack, but even this time their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck, to be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally, or even their agent? Lord Imperium succeeded. Xenos made more attempts on Saint Drusus' life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too? Go with Imperium. I think they only value Imperium as the Inquisitors. You already think you're cut from the same cloth as Saint Drusus, do you? Ambitious. I'll make note of it. He's gonna make note out of everything that I say, no matter what I say. This feels like an interrogation. Does it? We're in your chambers, not in confessional cell. You're in perfectly good health, and none of the varied and fascinating instruments and procedures that expedite candor are being applied to you. I assure you would immediately know if our discussion turned into an interrogation. Is that all? Far from it. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you, and you alone then, made it out of the trap on Raikad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Wojtyvir about you? Why did you choose to ignore the warning of a member of the Inquisition that a protracted sojourn near the dying Raikad Minoris could bring corruption down upon your ship? Were you driven by your concern for the people or forbidden interest? Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken voidsmen to join your crew, the ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Wojtyvir? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown? The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character, but it won't in this case. Your transgressions are sufficient grounds to bring you before the Inquisition judgment, and believe me when I say that if you fail to draw certain conclusions from my words, that is what will eventually happen. But for now I'm willing to show leniency, which is rather uncharacteristic of me. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did. Blackmail to what end? I'm a rogue trader, you have no right to stand in judgment over me. He shakes his head, and before what tribunal do you intend to challenge my authority? If, for the security of these territories, I find it necessary to execute any individual and replace them with a puppet counterpart, turn their realm to ash and put their servants to death, I have a right to do so. The threats I protect to expense against are extraordinary and justify the harshest means. Welcome to my world, where going too far simply doesn't exist. She cooperated with you and benefited greatly from it. The Warren's power is not without limit, and neither is protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pestims. It takes more than Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I'm not displeased by it. Let me demonstrate how it works. In your retinue, there's a Psyker who is yet to receive Terra's sanction, which, as we both know, is a grave threat and blasphemy to the laws of the Imperium. I'm aware of this secret, but I'm not displeased in the slightest. And so she lives on, your handy Psyker Idirat Las. Why such an interest in my person? You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronos Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in hidden stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, would you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The Xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades, and there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines, summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the expanse. And that's how we meet a space wolf. He summoned space wolves to clear Xenos. A mighty explorator fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House Shorda has clamped down on insurgents, yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they execute it. And this bloody carousal has consumed the attention of the esteemed Incendia. Caligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own Master of Whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically, all the Expanse has left is me, and you, if you follow my instructions. Is Heinrich staying in my retinue? Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrich, do you wish to continue working at the Honorable Rogue Trader's side? I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the Scion of the Von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed. What is your opinion of Heinrich's? Without a doubt, Master von Kalox has earned my complete trust by rapidly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrich, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight. You will accompany me. Then Master von Kalox will remain in place. It puts me to ease to know that there is someone to watch over you. I consider it an honor to accompany you. What deal are we talking about? I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that. I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I am merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that, what the Expanse find itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. I seem to remember that you exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. He removes a signet ring from his finger and hands it to you. You notice an intricate personal coat of arms on it. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid. No reward in bait. Symbol of the signet is white as the hair of the Depta Sororitas. The colors indicate how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. White means that you've been deemed worthy and pure, and the Inquisition generously rewards pure souls. Bow your head respectfully on behalf of my house. I hereby promise and guarantee to offer the Inquisition any assistance it may require. The Emperor protects. I see no reason to refuse such a generous gift. I don't want to have any dealings with you. If you want me as your ally, you can request an audience and repeat everything you just said in public. Bow your head respectfully. I'm glad to hear it. Your oath has been heard and added to the record. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It's time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep. He glances at the Master of Ceremonies, who is beginning to stir. And for your servant to wake up until we meet. You will obviously want to discuss what just happened, but now I presume right now it would be better for you to rest and think of the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, Rogue Trader.